I'm Diane Russo from Cargill.
And I'm Mary Carey from INSEAD.
We're here to share the story of Catalyst, a set of leadership development experiences designed and deployed globally as an outcome of our partnership between Cargill and INSEAD. Who is Cargill? Cargill is a global private company headquartered in the United States with 155,000 employees across 70 countries, with the inspiring purpose of nourishing the world in a safe, responsible, and sustainable way. The internal and external environment led to a need for a refreshed corporate strategy, which also translated into a need for refreshing our leadership skills and capabilities. This was the impetus for Catalyst. Our participants were 1,700 leaders from around the globe, and they were all invited to participate in Catalyst. All leaders in the senior levels were included because there was not a need for selecting a subset of the leaders. All leaders are critical to Cargill's success, so all leaders were invited to enhance their skills. We chose very intentionally to partner with INSEAD as a world-class global business school on a similar journey into digital learning.
The design process for Catalyst kicked off with a 3-day meeting at the headquarters of Cargill. This affectionately became known as 3 Days in the Basement. The design session was attended by members of INSEAD, Cargill, and some other contributors. And we anchored our discussions using design thinking methods around some very important design principles for the experience. Those being, Catalyst needed to be learner-centric. The executives needed to be able to apply their learning to their real work. We needed to use cutting-edge digital methodologies. The executives were to pay their learning forward into the organization, and the experience needed to support a culture of continuous learning, which was very important for Cargill. After the 3 days, we had a straw man design for Catalyst. We kept in mind the use of innovative learning methodologies to be able to adhere to these design principles using asynchronous digital learning and interactive live case and other digital experiences that brought the learning to life.
You heard Mary mention impact maps earlier, and here's an example. And these are used each time learning is created at Cargill so that from the start, we have a way of assessing and measuring impact. So with Catalyst, in the end, we could really determine the level of success and impact. We also had an important principle of Catalyst in the role of sponsors. Our sponsors were members of the executive team and alumni of Catalyst. Every cohort had a pair of sponsors, diverse and representing businesses and functions, as well as other diversity dimensions. They role modeled, they encouraged, they told stories, they shared insights, and they learned alongside the others that were participating in Catalyst. We deployed Catalyst in sets of experiences with like learners and global cohorts. Deployments of the most senior leaders, about 350 of them, were a blend of in-person and digital learning. Later, when we deployed to larger cohorts for a total of 1,400 learners, we were fully digital with live synchronous opportunities mixed in.
Of course, this digital version of Catalyst had to work for an all digital environment. We didn't just simply take the in-person experiences and put them onto a digital platform. One of the elements that was which was a significant adaptation was the popular in-person live case, which was converted to a digital experience where participants were able to participate in asynchronous role plays and exchange across the digital platform.
We had to continue to use this ability to adapt as COVID had an impact on our personal and professional lives. So as Mary mentioned, In-person learning needed to be adapted to be in a digital way so that we could accommodate all that was happening due to COVID. So, with those pressures, we elongated timelines. We coordinated small groups of learners who needed more time. We created separate small peer review opportunities so learners could continue throughout the pandemic.
The INSEAD faculty worked with the executives to make sure that they could finish their application challenges, again, elongating the timelines for completion and lending extra support to make sure that everyone was able to earn their certificate. COVID hit when we still had two live cohorts whose in-person experience was not able to happen. So for these groups, we converted their classroom experience to live digital delivery. And we came up with innovative ways that they could share their learning across the cohort, such as recording and playing out video feedback of the group discussions that were happening in the different regions of the cohort. The application challenge was what was designed to meet the important design principle of application of learning. Each executive worked on an application challenge relevant for his or her role at Cargill with some pretty amazing results.
Some of the outcomes of the application challenge projects are on the screen. Things like new applications of organizational structures, new ways to generate revenue, new technology for direct consumers and customers, and new ways to think about teams delivering value, which all led to the Catalyst success, which was measured in our success case. So you remember earlier we talked about the impact map. Here are the measures that we were able to identify as outcomes of Catalyst. 97% of our learners identified that they took distinct new action as an outcome of participating in Catalyst. And over 80% provided evidence of beneficial results of their actions with case upon case of things that they've done in their business. So, what's next for Catalyst? Through our partnership between Cargill and INSEAD and our commitment amongst the leaders at Cargill, we are looking forward to continuous learning and to keeping pace with the changing business environment by designing new Catalyst experiences, which will begin in fiscal year 22.
So we are currently in the digital basement, designing the Catalyst experience, as Diane said, to support the development of Cargill's leaders so that they can deliver on Cargill's important mission of nourishing the world.